What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track, back here with another video. Hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. We are approaching the new year. We are approaching 2023, which means the Clash is on its way. The Daytona 500 and Speed Weeks are on its way. And most importantly, the new season is on its way. But the news to come out today is NASCAR is already looking at doing more street courses. They are keeping their options open for street courses. So what's the big deal, you might ask? What's the issue here? Well, first of all, we haven't even run a street course at all yet. I mean, Chicago is coming up. It'll be on the schedule this year. And it looks like, from what Steve Phelps said, which I'm going to go over, it looks like NASCAR wants more already, which is pretty crazy, considering, we haven't even run this race. We have no idea how this is going to work. We don't know much about, the outcome and what this might look like in the future and with the schedule. But Steve Phelps made it very clear that his options are open. So Phelps said in an interview with Kelly Crandell, I don't know what our 24 schedule is going to look like, but it's going to have more changes in it for sure. Until such time as the fan base says enough, we're going to continue to drive change throughout the industry. It's change that really either delivers a better product or brings to a market where there's significant demand for our racing. Since we announced the Chicago Street Course, the number of cities that have reached out to NASCAR is significant, saying, hey, we would love to have a street course with NASCAR. Now we're going to certainly wait to see how their first street course goes before we make any commitments anywhere else. It's going to continue to evolve in terms of what the schedule looks like. But in general, I think what you've seen as a result of schedule variation, what we do from diversity, equity, inclusion standpoint, or any number of the other changes that are happening within the sport, they're bringing a relevance gain in the overall kind of population of this country and around the world. So clearly, it looks like NASCAR wants to make street courses a thing. Now, I do not have an issue with having a street course on the schedule. Here is how I think this should work, and I hope it will work this way. If you want to do street courses, I believe that you should have a different city each year hosting a street course. Chicago, who knows how that market will adapt. Obviously, Chicagoland was taken off the schedule. Some of that had to do with attendance. So, now we're going back to the state of Illinois with a Chicago street course race, which I think will do well. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be a good event. But NASCAR has to be very, very picky, I guess, if for lack of a better word, in terms of where they take these street courses if they continue to do it. And again, I look to different city each year, find a city that has some potential, maybe isn't, doesn't have a track, but you see a good opportunity to bring in new fans to the sport. Boston, I think, is a good city in mind. Maybe, I don't know, Oklahoma City. I think something like that. Again, I don't really know the layouts and how this would work, but I'm not really familiar with the layout of Chicago, and it seems like they're going to make this thing work. So I don't really know exactly where this is going to go, but NASCAR clearly has its options open. Clearly, there is a demand to do street courses. Here's my concern. It seems like NASCAR is quick to jump at the first opportunity. They're quick to jump on the next cool thing. So it was road courses, right? And there were too many road courses on the schedule. Still, I think too many road courses on the schedule. Super speedways. They made Atlanta into a super speedway. Atlanta's still getting 2 races. So now we have basically 6 super speedways on the schedule. Does that defeat the purpose of how awesome a race at Daytona, a race at Talladega is? I kind of think so. Short tracks and that sort of thing. We've seen this in the past with NASCAR. They seem to jump at the first opportunity when they see one kind of flash of optimism, flash of potential. They just run right with it. And I think this could come back to haunt them. I just don't know what their thoughts are with this, but I do think they have to be very careful. I don't mind a street course. I think it's cool. I think the Clash, the first year they did it, was a new city, a new event, and it worked. And I hope it works again. They're taking, another step up to now make this basically a night race in LA, which I think is cool. I think that will work. But again, you have to kind of be mindful with continuous changes to the schedule, and all that kind of comes with that. So who knows where this goes, but I hope NASCAR does not just continue to jump and do what they did with road courses now with street courses, which is, we've got 3 street courses this year on the schedule. Stuff like that cannot work. It hasn't worked. It won't work if you continue to go with that route. And like I said, I hope NASCAR doesn't. I think street courses are a great opportunity. And like I said, here this year it's Chicago. Next year it's another city with good potential. The year after it's another city with good potential. I see that being a benefit to our sport, being a benefit to different cities, to different markets, to new fan bases. I'm always open for that, but I just don't want this to come and bite NASCAR in the you-know-what, which, changes like this, sometimes they're great, but other times stuff like this just doesn't work, and you lose fans rather than gaining new ones. And you have to keep in mind too, and this just happens, right? When events go to certain different cities, right? That maybe the city isn't familiar with. You have to kind of keep in mind that, are you putting on an event where just people can go and watch and that's the end of it? Or are you really trying to, get an event to a city where you see potential in bringing new fans that will continue to watch your sport for the long term? That I think is going to be an interesting, case study, I guess, coming out of the Chicago race is, who's just coming to watch a fun event, have some drinks, enjoy cars, going around the streets of Chicago, or who's coming to possibly, wow, that was awesome. I think I'm going to start watching NASCAR. We saw that with the Clash, where it was the Clash viewership was really, really good. It seemed like a really successful event. And then the numbers throughout, especially in the Daytona 500, the TV numbers didn't get where we thought they would. And TV numbers, although up overall, the Clash did not have the impact that some, including myself, kind of thought it would have with the momentum that was built from it. So again, we'll see. Always want to know what you guys think. Please give your feedback. I want to know what you think about this whole thing in the comments, where you see NASCAR can go with this. I don't know. I think there's great opportunities, but like I said, always want to hear what you guys have to say. Please subscribe for more content, and be on the lookout. Daytona 500 news, Daytona 500 content will be coming soon. So just be ready. Thanks.